Hi, Carrie Burchill here with another episode of Shine Like a North Star. When I was thinking about some sort of hot off the press concepts for today and the things that my clients are going through, I thought of some valuable resources that you may also appreciate. So I looked to my stack of books over here on the side, and believe me, it's a Leaning Tower of Pisa, and grabbed a couple that I've referenced in my coaching calls this week and also training and development sessions. So, first one, anxiety at work. So I'll just hold this up so that you can see it for a little bit. The authors in this one have a really nice way of just talking about how anxiety shows up at work, what you can do as a leader to mitigate other people's anxieties, be a supportive leader, navigate anxiety, what causes anxiety, things you may not realize you could be doing as a leader to either dilute the anxiety that we all feel. I mean, anxiety is just a part of life. And also what you could do to create environments that is just naturally going to dispel some of the anxiety at work. Quick read, nicely organized, high level reminders if you're a seasoned leader. And if you're sort of new to the leadership world, it just breaks things down in some really pragmatic ways. So, anxiety at work. Good. Second one, this one's for me. I just got this one. Influence, the Anxiety of Persuasion. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about this book. When I got it, it ends up being pretty thick if you sort of compare these two together. Oh, let me get the angle the right way. There we go. So the Influence one is quite a bit thicker. I've read only a couple of chapters so far. Good things to think about in terms of creating buy-in, getting people on board. If you're someone who's in a really dynamic situation, I think that you could find this valuable. If you're growing a business, creating your brand, that kind of stuff, which of course I'm always doing, then that's helpful. Let me just flip through the chapter, the table of contents here for a quick second, because it talks about the levers of influence. Levers. I never know if I should say it in American or Canadian, and now I've been in the States so long, which way is which? I don't know. But it talks about reciprocation, liking, social proof, authority, scarcity, commitment, and consistency, unity, and the instant influence. So I'll keep you posted on how this book is going. It does seem so far really pragmatic and just understanding the idea of influence. And I think in my world would help me understand more how sometimes I walk away from a situation and kind of go, did they just manipulate the crap out of me? What's going on here? And that book is going to understand how the other person sort of played me, and I can have a bit more self-control around that. Never mind being able to help people achieve their goals and slow down to think about how they can have influence. So that's good. Another one, I'm using this with a healthcare organization right now. Change the culture, change the game. This is part of, I want to say like a trilogy. So Connors and Smith have several books out around, accountability, leadership, change the culture sort of stuff. This one is a little bit thicker to read, but certainly it's not the kind of book where you can just sort of pull pieces out. I think you need to, for the bulk of it anyways, follow sort of their strategy to shift culture, which if I were to sort of pitch a nugget after having read the book, I would say that part of their premise is you need to give people the story that you want them to have about their culture. And they have some really pragmatic ways to sort of seed the story, get beliefs, buy-in, align what you're kind of pitching with the story that you're getting people to believe about their experiences at work. Sometimes you just have to help people see it, and then they go, oh yeah, that's why I feel that way. That's why I want to stay here in the organization. So I think some really valuable strategies when we think about retention, recruitment, how people talk about their work so that we get more people at work, right? Cool people that you work with have cool friends. And those cool friends you want to pull into your work, and you can do that when your cool employees talk about how cool their work is, right? Give them the story. Awesome. I'm doing some police department work on culture, and I'm going to pitch this with some of the leaders. Now, this is a tried and true. I use it in my coach training all the time. What's neat about this book is it super quick read, really influential strategies to kind of help people slow down, and as a leader, help you get people talking more. So in sort of a police or even physician diagnostic kind of environment, right, where you're trying to identify like what are the facts and the problem and make decisions, it's quick thinking, quick action. When you take off that hat of being a clinician, being a police officer, and you put on your leadership hat, this book can help you with some different skills on not fixing, rather the skill of pulling people into the work, getting them to identify how they're going to fix. So that's a keeper one. I am constantly reading. Sometimes my strategy to fit that in is I'll wake up in the morning, I'll have a cup of tea. I'm a tea junkie, and I don't even turn on my computer. I just like read as long as that cup of tea lasts, and then put the book down, dive into the work. Right, so what does that quiet time look like for you? I've got some other clients where they fit it in. They're eating their lunch, their breakfast, their quick power bar, and they just like scroll through their phone on stuff that they're reading, stuff that they're being impressed by, or people that they find impressive. So obviously TED Talks, all that kind of stuff. I know with one group that I'm working with right now, we just created a Google Doc and everybody could kind of add in books that they're reading, stuff that they find valuable, links to podcasts, that sort of stuff. So I think today's Shine Like a North Star is really thinking through what is your source of development and how can you keep that alive? How can you share that? I've been posting some of these quotes just on social media, driving that forward with other people too. So I'd love to know what you're reading right now that's influential. Some of these books are oldie goldies. They're not, fresh off the printing press. And going back to those oldie goldies can be really valuable because it reminds you of things that you know to be true that you may not be implementing or practicing right now because you're caught in the day-to-day spin, right? We all have that day-to-day spin. So this, for me, sharing these books and constantly reading and rereading things is a way for me to slow down and be reminded of what I know is true and good practice, and also stretching that to be implemented in different ways or new ideas that can extend what we're looking at. So with that said, I'd love to know what you're reading. Chat it in the comments, message me, direct message me, whatever it is. Let's keep our lifelong learning mission alive. I'm Carrie Burchell, and I help you slow down to go fast so that you develop teams that rocket in the workplace. Take care.